Fighting between Islamic State, militants and Syrian Kurds is reported to have spread to a southern district of the town of Kobane on the Turkish border, as US-led airstrikes continue. But fighting in the town was less intense than on Monday, when IS took control of 3 districts in the east. Witnesses report several loud explosions and plumes of smoke from probable airstrikes. More than 160,000 Syrians, mainly Kurds, have fled Kobane recently. If Islamic State captured the town, its jihadists would control of a long stretch of the Syrian-Turkish border. In the latest clashes, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, SOHR, activist group said IS had crossed into a southern district of Kobane, taking over many buildings. However, the group said heavy fighting had forced IS to pull back in eastern districts. It also suggested many IS fighters had been killed in an ambush by Syrian Kurdish fighters. Kobane, under attack for several weeks, is now besieged on 3 sides. A Kurdish official in Kobane, Idris Nasn, told AFP news agency there were lots of clashes on Monday night and Kurdish fighters had halted the IS advance in the east of the town. On Monday, IS took control of Mistena, the strategic hill above Kobane, after heavy shelling. There was constant gunfire and a steady stream of Turkish ambulances racing to and from the border, with many wounded people being treated in hospitals close to the frontier. A humanitarian mission to evacuate the few thousand civilians left in Kobane continued on Tuesday. Turkish in action. Kawhan Zebari, a representative of the Kurdish regional government in the US, told the BBC it would be catastrophic if IS seized control of the town. If this continues, if there's no international aid, military aid arriving for the residents of Kobane and these Kurdish fighters that are fighting in Kobane, it could fall into the hands of IS, he said. He urged Turkey to take action in support of the residents of Kobane. In Turkey, clashes between police and Kurds, angered by what they see as Turkey's failure to intervene, were reported overnight in several cities. Turkish Kurds and refugees have clashed with Turkish security forces on the border for the past 2 days. Last week, Turkey pledged to prevent Kobane from falling to the militants, and its parliament authorized military operations against militants in Iraq and Syria. But it appears to have taken no action so far. Turkey, a regional superpower with significant troops and armor in the area, seems extremely reluctant to intervene despite a government pledge to do whatever it takes to prevent Kobane from falling. It wants the US-led coalition to agree on a number of things first, including setting up a no-fly zone and a buffer zone in northern Syria and, crucially, a renewed focus on getting rid of President Assad, which remains Turkey's principal objective. The Turks are at loggerheads with Washington on that objective, and for those reasons, and because of the very bad blood that has existed for decades between Turkey and its own Kurdish population. Turkey fought a bloody war against the Turkish guerrilla group, the PKK, that helps to explain why Ankara remains deeply reluctant to get engaged. Kobane key facts. Kobane, known in Arabic as Ain al-Arab, and the villages surrounding it were home to about 400,000 people, most of them Kurds. Kurdish parties have governed the area since the Syrian army withdrew 2 years ago. In the first half of 2014, IS seized control of neighboring areas, leaving Kobane surrounded on 3 sides. IS launched a major offensive on the 16th of September, prompting more than 100,000 people to flee to Turkey.